Welcome, scholars. Today we are studying the 2024 Official Test Bundle 5 from the SAT. This is from the Math Module 2. A circle in the xy plane has its center at -1, 1. Line T is tangent to this circle at the point 5, -4. Which of the following points also lies on line T? So this is a geometry question, and anytime you have a geometry question, you will really benefit by drawing it out, right? So from the second to last problem on the module, so it's gonna take you a little bit of time, but that's okay. So basically we're told that we have some point, -1, 1, and then there's another point on a line T, or on the point over here, creates this tangent line, right? So I'm going to draw that nice and straight. We have this tangent line, pretty straight, you get the idea, and that it touches at a single point. That point is 5 minus 4, or 5 minus 4, right? And we know that this is our circle, so then, or this is the center of our circle, so this is going to be some radius r, and we know, or we want to figure out which of these points also exist on the tangent line, right? So how can we go about solving this? Well, even though my diagram is kind of messy, there's one relationship that can really help you in solving this problem, and that is knowing how tangents interface with the diameter or radius of a circle, right? You can imagine we have like some diameter, right? This is basically just the line that cuts across the circle. So any point or any line that is tangent to a circle, it's going to be perpendicular to the diameter. What does that mean? Well, that means the angle between the diameter d, right? There's our diameter. This angle right here between the diameter and our tangent line, that is going to be a right angle. And we can use that to our advantage in trying to figure out what points also lie on the tangent line. Because if we know the slope between the center and the point on the tangent line, that gives us the slope of the diameter or the radius, right? And then we can inverse that slope to figure out the slope of the tangent, and then use that information to kind of see which of these points also lies on the tangent. So let's do that real quick. So first we need to find the slope of diameter, right? And that is pretty easy. So I'm going to write that as MD is equal to basically y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we have minus 4 over, or minus 1 over 5 minus 1, which is going to be minus 4 minus 1 is going to be minus 5, and then 5 minus minus 1, that's the same as 5 plus 1, which is going to be minus 5 over 6, right? So that is the slope of our diameter. Now we need to invert the slope of the diameter, right? M sub d, which means nothing more than flipping it and changing the sign, right? Because we know that the slope of two perpendicular lines are inverse to each other, right? So then the slope of t is going to be minus 1 over md, which is the same as minus 1 over the fraction minus 5 over 6, which is going to be the same as 6 over 5. Okay, so we know the slope of the tangent line. We also know a point. There are now a couple of ways that we can try and eliminate these answers, right? Well, right off the bat, I know that this is probably a trick answer right here, because we know that the slope of the tangent is 6 over 5, so it would be a little weird if of the point was also 6/5, right? So I kind of can, just by knowing the SAT and how they try and trick you, we can just eliminate that, because they try and get you and be like, oh, 6/5, 6/5 is an answer, it must be that. Well, you'd be cooked if you did that. So we're going to eliminate that. And now we have only three to test out, right? So I'm just going to kind of brute force this a little bit. There might be a better way. If you know a better way, let me know in the comments. But basically, what I'm going to do is just find the slope between 5, 4, and these other options, and see which one will equal 6/5, right? So let's do 5 minus 4 and b, right? So that's going to be slope is equal to minus 4 minus 7 over 4 minus 5. That's going to be minus 11 over minus 5, which won't work. So B doesn't work. Now let's try C. So M, going to move down a little bit. M is equal to, what is M equal to? It's going to be minus 4 minus 2 equal over 5 minus 10. Oh, this is looking pretty promising, right? Minus 6 over minus 5, 6/5. Aha. So we figured out that this point in answer option C has the same slope, or the line between this point and this point on the tangent has the same slope as what we calculated the tangent line slope to be. So that means that this point lies on the same line, because the slope calculated between these 2 points is equal to the slope of the tangent line. So there you go. That's kind of how we need to solve this one. Hopefully it made sense. Another way you could have quickly kind of gone through these is kind of gone through in your head, be like, okay, which one of these y values minus from this original y value is going to give us a 6 on top? The only one that kind of got close to that was D anyway, so you could have just done it that way as well. What I mean by that is you could have just done like 4 minus 2. Okay, that's going to be minus 6. We know that there's a 6 on the top of our slope, so that could have been another way that you could have easily quickly found that this was the answer. So to recap, what did we do? We first found the slope of D, right? D is the diameter of the circle. We did that by taking the slope between the tangent line's point that touches the circle and the center of the circle, right? We got minus 5/6. Then we inverted it, because we invert the slope of the diameter to get the slope of the tangent line, because they are perpendicular, and perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. So that's what we did in step 2. And then in the final step, we just basically calculated the slope between our point on the tangent line, between the other points available to us, and just chose the answer which resulted in a slope that was equal to the one we calculated in step 2. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me know in the comments below if that was confusing, and if you want me to make a follow-up video or make things a little bit clearer. Check out Khan Academy. It's linked in the description below. Also, you can download this test and do it yourself. Also linked in the description below. And of course, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.